friends, I believe that the values we profess and the orientations which we take in our lives is very much conditioned and shaped by our own experiences. In that sense, I would like to share two of my fundamental options, the value orientation in my life. One is the cause of the poor and the marginalized, issues of justice and equality, human dignity. The other one is the concern for plurality and diversity. And these are two major concerns which I would say which have shaped my own life and my own commitment. I would like to illustrate it with some of my experiences, ordinary simple experiences. When I was a child, a small boy, we used to have a huge tree in front of our house. Those days were days when there was no electricity, no proper road, and deprivation of many things. But I used to see every morning walking along the road hundreds of people. They are all undernourished, practically like skeleton, especially the sight of poor children who should be in the school. They all go to the forest 20 kilometers away to collect firewood, and returning they try to sell it. Only if they sell, they have some food for that day. If they don't sell, the children go hungry. And I could almost hear even today the sound of their foot, the path as they were walking, because there was no chappals. They used to make chappals out of palmyra leaves, and that sound, is something always reminding me of the suffering of the poor. And then I used to make a lot of travels for talks and other things all over India. When I traveled by train, every station there used to be hundreds of sometimes beggars swarming and to get some alms from the passengers. There will be at least a dozen people who will be waiting for some food. So I used to carry my food, but I found impossible as they were waiting to get something from the rest of my food. I used to simply give my packet and go hungry, because that way I felt more satisfied than eating myself, that I could not help these poor God's children to have the daily bread. And when I was a student abroad, I left India when I was 17. I came back after 11 years of study, never came back in between, did not make even a single telephone call to my parents. I had scholarships to study in Italy and France for board and lodging and tuition fee, but I did not have any pocket money. It was impossible to send any money from India because of the government rules. So I had to struggle. I remember even to buy stamps to write letters to my parents, I had to struggle. And I have many times worn even shoes which are a lot of holes in winter walking. But later I tried to work during the holidays in some chemical factory and dry cleaning factory, and also cleaning hospital floors, so that I could earn some money for my the needs as a student. And I never thought it's something any heroic, something which most people suffer in the world. This is part of it, and never I thought it's anything. But looking back, it looks very different. But these were important lessons, because the difficulties we experience in our life really form our character. That when we don't have difficulty, our character becomes very soft, not able to bear anything. That we find everything very bad, and that we have many things to complain. In that sense, I would like to share with you three biographies which have really impressed me and helped me, inspired me. Two of them are by the Holocaust survivors of the concentration camp during the Nazi regime. One is that of Viktor Frankl, a great doctor, who wrote Man's Meaning of Life. And the other one is Elie Wiesel, who got a Nobel Prize for Peace, but he was in the concentration camp. One of the short titled Night, a small booklet where he narrated his experience in the concentration camp. where every day his life was hanging on balance. He was not sure he would live that day. This is something very gripping. And another biography is that a beautiful biography of Nelson Mandela, who was a great figure, who was in 27, 28 years in prison. I went to South Africa, but spent a little time in Cape Town. I couldn't visit, unfortunately, but I could see from far the Robben Island, where this great personality of our 20 time was lodged 17 years and in a little prison. And reading my Long Walk to Freedom's biography, I felt how a person could experience the life was so dense, full of events, full of commitments, full of struggles. So this was something very inspiring. The second experience, as I said, important orientation in my life is that of plurality and diversity. And this I had wonderful. I think this is one of the greatest gifts in my life, that as a student, young students, that I could live with students from about 60, 70, 80 countries, living together, playing together, studying together, which made me very comfortable with any culture. Even today, in any part of the world, I can go and feel very much at home because of that intercultural experience of plurality and diversity. This also helped me to understand different characters of human beings. Human beings are a mystery, and they have different characters, different orientation, different moods, and that never to judge anything prejudice, but then listen and see and experience and respond to the situation rather than approach with prejudices and false impressions. I think these are some of the things which helped me in my life. As I said, these two basic, the commitment to the poor, the plight of the poor, social justice, and the plurality. These, I think, are also important issues in the contemporary world, because both we do not have. There is so much opposition. There is no real will, political will for equality and for the plight of the poor and the marginalized. And there is no real acceptance in a world of racism, casteism, where plurality and diversity is not accepted. I think these are some of the things which are important for our world and for our society. Thank you very much.